Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Excuse my voice. Don't know where it went. But anyway, I'm coming to you with my review on the new NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealers and powders. Okay? So if you aren't familiar, NYX came out with the Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. This is a collaboration. Well, I wouldn't even call it a collaboration. I guess they collabed with Alyssa Ashley to come with this range, but it's a permanent foundation type of thing in their line. Anyway, this came out in about 45 shades, I want to say. And this is what it looks like. The Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. Really, really nice. Like, the release was great. Like, this was one that was really, really hyped up. And I can say that it's pretty decent. So I did do a review on this, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least to get ready with me when I talked about it and everything like that. How I feel about it. I'll refresh your memory on that. But anyway, that came out. And then months later, as in, I want to say last month, these were released. So this is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer and the Can't Stop, Won't Stop setting powder. They came out. The foundation was around the $14 mark. I am in the shade Cocoa. I'm wearing it today. The color range was really nice. Again, 45 shades. Yeah, so the foundation is let me read the claim first. This is full coverage, up to 24-hour matte finish. I would give it a natural matte. This is one that as I continue to wear it, I know that I definitely need to set it with the powder. Now, I set all my foundations with the powder, but because of security and oil. But this one, even if I wasn't oily, you should probably want to set it with the powder. It says that it's matte, but I can't give it a true matte, flat matte. It's definitely like a demi matte or something like that. Not a problem, but I'm just letting you guys know. Like I said, you should want to set it with the powder. So, the concealers, they were $8.99, and sorry for the sniffles. And then the powder was $11.99, and I got mine from Ulta. I feel like I have to sneeze, and I'm really trying to fight it. Yeah. So the foundation comes in 45 shades. The concealers came in about 20 shades, which I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I guess in the scheme of makeup, you can get away with a different shade of concealer. I don't know. Like, a few skin tones can wear like the same shade of concealer, which doesn't make sense to me. If your concealer is supposed to match your skin as well, just to cover extra blemishes and just have a little bit more coverage. Excuse me. It's very weird to me when companies come out with X amount of foundations and then X minus amount of concealers, and I just don't know. So yeah, the concealer range is around the 20-ish range, while the foundations are 45. I'm actually looking up an amount of shades actually right now while we're talking, because I can multitask, and you should know the exact amount. So, with this being said, the setting powder comes in 5 shades. It goes from the lightest shade, I forgot what it was called, if it was translucent or light, but it comes in 5 shades, and I got the next to the darkest shade. This is the shade medium deep, and there was one called deep that, just looking through here, there was no testers, just looking through here, that one was definitely too deep for me, which actually makes me very, very happy to know that obviously there's deeper shades. Is that what I'm trying to say? So the concealer comes in 24 shades, while the foundation comes in 45. Again, I don't know why that bothers me. It does, though. It really does. In the concealer, and I also didn't see it correct, with that being said, name and color match situation. So I picked up 2 concealers. One is my skin tone. One is a tad lighter. I picked up the shade Deep Cool as my skin tone, and then I picked up one more, Mocha, as my little bit lighter shade. Anything else? Like I said, is that all the logistics? In the concealer, you do get this. Let me show you something. This is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. It's been around for years. Next to the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. The Can't Stop, Won't Stop is bigger in size and a little bit heavier, has a little bit more weight to the tube, but you actually get the exact same amount of product. So the tube is just bigger and heavier and more heavy duty. I like the weight and feel of it. It reminds me more of like a lip gloss weight and feel than a concealer weight and feel. But color scheme is still the, you know, the classic black and clear like NYX, so just like you should know that. But you get 0.11 fluid ounces in both of those types of concealer, just so you knew. And then in the setting powder, you get 0.21 ounces. So I just want to talk about the packaging. One more thing with the concealer, or two more things. With the concealer, you get a doe foot applicator. It's a doe foot applicator. And then when I get to the powder, I'll talk about that. All right, so out of the way. What I like about this concealer claims to be, doesn't say, claims to be, I think, medium coverage. I would give it that. If it claims to be light, then it's medium. If it claims to be full, then that's false. Anyway, this concealer is definitely a very strong medium coverage. I'm not giving it full coverage because recently I have been just like the holidays, you don't get any sleep, that kind of thing. My under eye circles have been extremely dark, darker than normal. And I have some of my classic full coverage concealers that still can cover it. This is just not one of them. And I know with the color corrector, I have used color corrector underneath and they look beautiful. But just so you know, it's not like a super maximum full coverage situation with these concealers. However, I enjoy this when I don't have the dark circles, this formula of concealer. It's a thick, creamy concealer. Reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealers. Definitely reminds me of those. It's not super, super thin, even though it's in a tube. Some concealers are like, again, might as well be a lip gloss or a lip oil, if you will, in that consistency, that texture. These are definitely a cream, but they're not too thick and heavy, like something that should have been in a squeeze tube, but they're also not too thin. And I really enjoyed that texture. Again, it reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy. Even in coverage a little bit. Strong, medium. I used to think the NARS Radiant Creamy was a full coverage concealer, and maybe it used to be for me, and maybe my skin changed, but I definitely think those two are on par. In terms of my collection, what I can think of, I can compare those the best. One thing that it does not claim to be waterproof, I could not find a waterproof claim. However, I swatched these on my hand, blended them in my hand at Ulta, you know, just trying to try out different shades, and it was raining when I left Ulta, and so I left out of Ulta, and I'm getting in my car, and I look at my hand, and literally the water droplets from where the concealer were rolling off. You know, like when something's waterproof. I was like, well, what do you know? What do you know? So yeah, that's something that you should know. Again, did I say I'm wearing it now? I can't take too many points off except that it's a medium coverage concealer. I think it's nice. You do want to set this. This does not crease though. I've been wearing it for a while. This does not crease. It sets beautifully. Again, it's just not a full coverage situation. You might want to color correct, but it does give a nice even tone. I also want to take note that the differences in shades, maybe that's why they don't have that many concealers compared to foundations, because the difference in shades is very minimal compared to the difference in shades in the foundation. Does that make sense? Like I don't know, like there's 45 shades of this, and you would think some of the shades would be close, and while they are, they're still very different. Like, what number is this? I don't know. If this is number 2, it's going to be very different from number 3. Still in the same range, but you get what I'm saying? I don't know. In the concealers, they all seem very close. Like in those medium to deeper ones, they seem very close. In the lighter ones, they seem just very close. And I don't know if that's the way to get away with I'm not quite sure. And I apologize if I'm not formulating my sentences properly. But let me swatch the two that I have. This is, again, 22 Deep Cool. And then it was really weird because they had some shades that were like a point. So like 23 came in 23.3. It was like weird. 22.3. So look, this is Deep Cool and Mocha. They're not that much different. You understand what I'm saying? They're not that much different, and they're like two to three shades from each other. You know? And I don't know. But this is one of those concealers that if you, let's say you put your concealer on under your foundation, or you put your concealer on under your foundation and do that step first. This is a great formula of concealer to highlight with, to go in and do those high points with the bright one. So I definitely would like to pick up one even lighter for that situation once I have all my coverage on. So take that how you want. Again, they're not my super favorite super full maximum coverage concealers, but in terms of medium coverage, nice concealers that the average person with not too many dark spots and serious stuff can get away with for a great price. There you go. Now, the powder. This is, again, the Can't Stop, Won't Stop setting powder. I got the shade medium deep. First thing, let's talk about this packaging because I'm not a fan of it. This is classic plastic acrylic jar. That's fine. Lid, that's fine. It's all fine. However, look, and I guess it's to prevent waste, which, well done for thinking about that. But, so this is the top. And I guess I'm really being picky. I'm really being picky when I say I don't like it because I can't put any in the cap. I mean, I can, but it's that's what it is. This is like a bowl shape, and you have this these very large holes that the powder comes out of, and you swirl your brush in and do that. Another reason why I don't like that, this was the petty reason why I didn't like the packaging and the lid, but I think these sifter holes are too big. I just think they're huge. And I also, you don't get very much in here. So for an example, this was, let's say $11. It was like $10.99, $11.99. It was around that price. This is Maybelline Fit Me. Okay, it's Maybelline Fit Me. This is $5 at Walmart. You get in the NYX powder 0.21 ounces or 6 grams. In here, you get 0.7 ounces or 20 grams for $5. So this is $11, and you're getting less than a third of this. And I'm not comparing these two, but I'm saying you don't get very much in here. Yes, it's a setting powder, and setting powders go a long way, but we also want our dollars to go a long way. I'm just saying. So I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know. This powder, in my opinion, is a very, very lightweight setting powder, which I guess most setting powders should be. It is tinted. It is, but I do not think it gives that much of a significant difference in the skin, where let's say I get the next lightest shade, I don't think it would make that much of a difference because it is on that transparent side. It's finely milled. It feels soft. It feels nice brushed against my skin. It's not as finely milled as, say, a Laura Mercier, but it's on the level of the Makeup Forever Super Matte Loose Powder in texture, not in performance. The Makeup Forever Super Matte Loose Powder really keeps me matte. It's a wonderful matte powder. This does not claim that. Let me make sure. Yeah. I didn't think so. It's to set your face. And it sets it to a nice natural finish. That's all I can give it. It does not add anything to the longevity of my makeup. I don't think it does. I would pick other setting powders over this one, just because I have loose setting powders that give a little bit more coverage, give a little bit more tint, or adjust if a color is off, and it'll keep me matte and last all day long. So this is probably not one that's at the top of my list. However, it's not the worst either, but I'm just keeping it real with you all. And again, you don't get that much in there, although that's still going to last you a very long time. Anything else? I think that's it. So those are my thoughts on the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. They have 2 primers with this collection as well, a hydrating primer and a matte primer. I did not pick up any of those, but yeah, I will pick up a lighter shade of the concealer because that's a strong medium coverage concealer, and it's really going to work well with highlighting. So that's it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about any of the products mentioned in this video, feel free to leave them down below. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.